Well, greetings. Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show live here at the Paintbox Bistro, 555 Dundas Street East. And how's everybody doing? Fantastic. I love it. I love the energy. The weather outside is frightful, but the company inside here is so delightful, and there's so much going on in the world. So let me ask you a question. What time is it? Hot Topics. That's right. It's time for Hot Topics. And what Hot Topics are, is what people are talking about at the water coolers, in the office, and also what might be trending on social media. So what's happening tomorrow? Does anyone know what is the kickoff day? A very special event that happens every end of the summer in Toronto. CNE, it's right. The Canadian National Exhibition is happening tomorrow. It's the opening, and it goes on until Labor Day. And so excited for that. How many people have been here? Make some noise if you've been there or thinking about going. It's a lot of fun. Absolutely. Lots of going on. Lots of exhibits, vendors, the food, right? I fast for a couple of days so that I can just handle all the waffle cakes and all the things that are dipped in all kinds of sugar. I didn't know I could have Twinkies that were like deep coated in flour and then fried. Delicious Mars bars that are fried. So yeah, you check that out, and there's a lot of music in the evening, so lots to do for the family. So looking forward to that. So how many people like to keep up their exercise but don't necessarily have time during the day, so they leave it for the end of the day like I do? Make a round of applause. So in the evening, I go out for walks. I try to get in 5 kilometers of walking. That's what I try to handle. And I've been noticing lately in my neck of the woods, I'm in Etobicoke, there's a skunk in every single corner I turn. Can you relate to me on this? Does anyone have little furry friends following you everywhere when you're going? Okay, it's just me. Skunks everywhere. Skunk City. Okay? And I'm terrified of them because I don't know when they're going to get a little frisky. So I'm walking with my friend and I'm scanning. I can't even walk without, with leisure. I'm scanning the whole time because it's getting a little bit uncomfortable. So walking and met up with one. And so I backed up and I started to drift off into the other direction. And it was like a standstill. Our eyes locked. And they refused to move. Every time I moved left, they would move left. And if I moved right, they moved right. So we were doing this rhythm, this dance back and forth. All I wanted to do was just keep going. So has anyone seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? Clint Eastwood? When you watch Westerns? It was kind of like that. It was like a stand down. And there was almost like this music in the background. And I thought, okay, who's the quick draw? He turned around and his tail went up, and I went the other direction. It was something. But keep up the exercise. Don't let the skunks totally derail you from that. But we're going to have a great show. Let's make some noise for all the great people who are going to be here. We have fantastic people with great transformational stories to share. So you don't want to go anywhere. You're here at the Nikki Clarke Show live, Paintbox Bistro. Come right back. We got some great stuff for you. Right, welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show live here at Paintbox Bistro, and I love everything beautiful, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But we have someone here who is a beauty specialist. She is a stylist, and she is a specialist in nutrition. She's here with us now. Please welcome Shelliann Sterling to the show. Welcome.
Yes, thanks for having me, Nikki.
Oh, you're welcome. You look absolutely stunning.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's not the first time we've been together on the stage here at the Nikki Clarke Show. Can you remember when that was?
We had Yandy Phillips in this world.
Yes.
You were doing her dance, and I saw you throw down.
Oh, you remember that part?
Yes,
yeah, I was hoping that part was deleted. But yeah, the interview with Yandy was great. Yandy Phillips was Miss Jamaica World a few years back, and she's a gracious lady, and we were promoting her dance hall fitness.
Right.
And you were there,
I was there.
Awesome. And now full circle.
Yes.
We're back, and you are doing wonderful things for my tresses.
Yes.
Shelliann, you are fully responsible for my hair, so thank you very much for
You're
all the great
welcome.
things. So tell us about your background.
So I started doing hair over 20 years ago, and I've been, working in many different salons. I've worked in a hair loss clinic where I specialize in hair loss. And then I started to work in a salon in Yorkville. And from there, I left and went to Michael Clute. And Michael Clute, when I went to Michael Clute, I was looking for growth. I was looking for somewhere that will help me to build my skills. And for me, now it's like a home away from home. It's a great place to be. The staff are amazing.
They are.
And the environment, as you know, the salon is beautiful. Beautiful space to work in.
Yes, it's very warm and very inviting.
It is. It is. It is.
I'm really happy to be back and be part of the Michael Clute family. So it's a wonderful place.
Yes.
So I know that you're very you have a world of wisdom when it comes to everything that goes in the body as it relates to hair. So can you just tell us a little bit about what we should be doing to keep hair healthy and good looking?
As you said, what goes on in our body comes out on the outside. So definitely your diet. Your diet does play an important part in what happens on the outside, our skin, our nails, and our hair. So you definitely want to be eating a balanced meal. You want to be eating a lot of vegetables and a lot of nutrients, live nutrients in the body. So not too much processed stuff. That doesn't really do a whole lot for our hair. So if you really want your hair to grow, you definitely have to focus on your diet. Diet does play an important part. And drinking a lot of water as well.
Yeah.
Water is very,
Staying
very
hydrated.
important. Yes, yes.
And
Because it
rest,
affects-
right?
Yes, rest, sleep for sure, and stress. You want to definitely avoid stress and sleep. Need lots of sleep for sure. Yes.
Right. So it's all about balance,
Balance.
making
That's
that
the
hair
key.
grow.
Yes.
So I wanted to invite you to show off some of your skills.
Yes.
So can we do that? We've
Yes,
got someone
absolutely.
from the audience who volunteered to be part of this
Yes,
little hair
yes,
makeover,
that's right.
hair intervention.
Yes.
So Audrey, can you come up? Make some noise for Audrey. Looking pretty in pink.
Yes.
Awesome. So Shelliann, tell us what we're going to be doing, and maybe describe the texture that
So
Audrey has.
So Audrey is her hair texture. She's very fine texture, and with her fine texture, she tends to have very little volume. So that's one of her main concerns. She wants to get a little bit more volume in her hair, but she's also growing her hair as well. But I'm also stressing to her the importance of trimming the ends, because it's kind of counterproductive. For
people
hair.
think if you cut the hair, then how is that going to make it grow? But
right.
it actually helps.
It does, because if the ends aren't maintained, whatever length that's growing, it's being broken off. So you're not retaining length. So that's a big issue. So she doesn't want to lose too much length. So what I will do is just give her a trim just to shape her hair, and also show her how to get more volume in her hair as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. So you ready for that, Audrey? I think we're ready for that. So at the end of the show, we're going to see the transformation. What do you think about that? I think that's very exciting. And thank you so much for being a part of this. This is great. Awesome.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more, Shelliann, about some of the services that you offer at the salon.
So at the salon, I do specialize in hair care, and that includes natural hair as well. I do some extensions as well, and crochet braids, a whole lot of different variety of styles. Because of the clientele I have, they're very busy, so they want convenience. And so we try to offer as much service as possible. At the salon, as you know, it's a well-rounded salon, so we have spa services. We also have hair coloring, lots of hair coloring, a very large
I'm part
hair
of
color
that.
department.
Yes.
Yes. And as I said, hair care is one of our main focus. So if you want your hair to grow, if you want healthy hair, Michael Clute is a place to go.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you a question about hair loss, since you have that background. Hair loss is genetic?
Yeah, it can be. It can be genetic. Some of the hair loss that sometimes women are faced with, especially sometimes it's diffuse hair loss, and that can happen due to stress. So a lot of times, if the body is going through some kind of shock or some kind of illness that it's fighting, or maybe even surgery, that doesn't relate to genetic. So that can happen just based on the body, the stress on the body. Genetic hair loss, there's quite a few of those, and a lot of times you will see it in the temple area or at the crown of the head. Those tend to be more genetic. And yeah, as I said, illness and inflammation play a big part in any form of hair loss. So a lot of times through the diet that we eat, a lot of processed food, a lot of sugar, and a lot of fat, those can contribute to hair loss as well because they clog the pores. One of the common ones, especially among Black women, is traction alopecia, which is due
The
to
pulling on the hair, right?
Yes, a lot of tight pulling on the hair, and also scarring alopecia from overprocessing the hair and causing burns from relaxers.
Okay.
So those are the common ones. Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about what you
Yes.
do, but I think we're going to send you and Audrey away to get that transformation going. So can you tell us a little bit about how it's going to happen? What do you think? What are we going to do?
Well, we're going to give her a lot more volume. We're going to smooth her hair out, as I said too. We're going to give her a bit of trim just to maintain those ends so that they're nice and healthy. And that will give her also some fullness to her hair. So showing her techniques on how to curl her hair and, how to make sure that the volume stays as well, because with fine hair, it tends to go limp.
Sure.
So product as well and technique will
Okay.
help her to get the volume she needs. And also, just making sure that I don't take off too much of her length, because she's very concerned about that.
Very concerned
Yes,
about that.
she wants to retain her length, but she has to take off a little bit to get more.
Got
Yes.
it. Okay.
Mhm.
A little bit more to
Yes.
get more.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. Exactly.
Awesome. All right. So we're going to send you backstage, and then we'll have you back up, and
Yes.
we'll witness the transformation. So make
Yes.
some noise for Audrey. And Shelliann Sterling, stylist at Michael Cluthe Salon. We'll be right back with them. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. The Nikki Clarke Show at the Paintbox Bistro, 555 Dundas Street East. The show is about conversations that matter, transforming lives one story at a time. And we have another amazing individual with us today. He is the president of Salient Inc. Medical. Please welcome Jay Herman to the show. How are you, sir?
Thank you. Good, Nick. Great to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I have to say, before we get into anything, this looks like a great helmet.
That's the latest in fashion design.
That's the latest in
Yeah,
fashion?
that's
Okay. Wow. So what is that?
That is called the Theradome. So one of the products that we're going to be introducing into Canada.
Can I lift it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Is a series of products for hair loss. And really one of the areas that we're focused on is female hair loss. And it can be very traumatic when women start losing their hair.
Sure.
And it is generally something that is multifactorial. So you don't really know why necessarily. It is important if any woman is losing their hair that they go see their specialist, their dermatologist, find out if there's any extraneous circumstances related, because it could be anything from mercury poisoning to hormonal imbalance to genetics, or it can just simply be due to hairstyle. Something called traction alopecia, where if you pull your hair too far to the back, you end up with some hair loss here. Nevertheless, it can be traumatic when you start losing hair.
Okay.
Women in the past haven't really had a lot of options as to what to do when this starts happening. So what we did is we introduced a series of products into the company, which allow a very non-invasive method of being able to potentially bring back that hair, and at the same time, a more invasive, if you want to move towards a surgical. It was a couple of £1,000, so it wouldn't fit on this stage, but it's a surgical robot which will remove hair follicles from the back of the head, just 1 to 4 follicles at a time, and then you go to transplant them in those areas that are thin.
Okay.
So 2 of the big products are this, which is called the Theradome. The Theradome is based on
Just
something.
fits on the head like
it just
that?
fits on the head like that. Comes with bunny ears as well, if you need. And what it is it's called photobiomodulation. So one of the reasons that we lose our hair is the hair follicles start micronizing. They start getting smaller and smaller. And then eventually, you don't necessarily lose the hair, but they turn into very small villus hairs, which is very fine, small hair. I have a lot of those at the top of my head. Therefore, I wear one of these. I started very recently, as soon as we brought him in, wearing it 20 minutes a night. What this does is a laser light, which stimulates, in simple terms, it stimulates the mitochondria to enable it to produce more energy for the hair follicle, so it can, A, start growing more, It creates more vascularization, so there's more blood supply to that particular hair follicle. And it also keeps the hair follicles in their growth phase longer, which is called the anagen phase. So you tend not to lose it. A lot of products you'll see like this on, sold on the internet. There's a very big difference between products you might see, which are maybe LED-based, light emitting diode, and something like this, which is actually a laser diode. So this is the first product that we've come across that has a medical dose of the laser, but it's an at-home product that you could pick up from your professional and wear it in the comfort of your own home. It's about 20 minutes a night.
20 minutes a night.
Correct.
Okay.
The other product is something which has been in the sort of in the press a lot for wrinkles around the skin, which is called PRP, platelet-rich plasma. If you've ever heard of like the vampire lift or facials, where really what they do is they take your own blood, and it's painful. It's like a trip to the the lab, but they do it in-house. So they take your own blood, they spin it down, and what they remove from it are just the platelets from your blood. And the platelets have a plethora of wonderful growth factors, healing factors, stimulating factors, and they get injected into those areas. It's very painless. It's shallow injections, and what those platelets do is they start stimulating the stem cells at the base of the follicle, and they start again making those hairs healthier. They grow thicker, fuller. It'll recruit new hairs to grow. And again, as well as stimulate the vascularization in that area. So it's sort of like fertilizing your lawn, and then you take this afterwards and you put the sunshine on it. And some of the results are quite dramatic. I mean, of course, on men as well. There's one particular person who actually works for this company, has sort of hair loss like me up on the crown. Probably about 10 months later, after about 3 to 4 treatments,
Wow.
I've seen him. You can't even tell that he has any hair loss there. Yeah.
That is amazing. So how long has this been on the market now?
So these are just recently Health Canada approved. So we launched them in the company it's about a month or two ago.
Okay.
They're
Fairly
both-
recently.
Yeah, very recently. This one as well is FDA approved in the United States, and it's approved for female hair loss. So it actually is tested on women.
Fantastic. Wow, this is amazing. What do you think? This is fantastic. It really is revolutionary. So how did Shelliann Inc. Medical evolve?
Well, I guess the brief history of the 30 years since I graduated from university. I finished university with a healthcare degree, and had to make a decision very quickly because of life circumstances not to go into medical school, but rather to start a career. And life takes us in different directions. I didn't view myself in sales at the time. I really viewed myself more in a clinical nature. So I started working in clinical research in the pharmaceutical industry. And through there got involved in what at the time was very new software for laboratory information management. And the particular British company asked me to help them launch in North America. 10 years went by. We helped them launch in North America. But for myself, I was always really more interested in the medical arena. And I had an opportunity with a company that was a Canadian distribution company, had been around for a long time. And they were multidisciplinary. So they were in everything from oncology to aesthetics to urology to ophthalmology. And that really fascinated me because I get bored easily. So it really had a lot of fascinating areas to go into. And I joined that company, and then after being there for a few years, I took over as president, ran that company for a while, from about 2003 till 2013, and then had the opportunity to, with some partners, buy the medical device division of that particular company, because we had some ideas of where we wanted to take a company, especially our main divisions are ophthalmology and medical aesthetics. And in the medical aesthetics realm, things were getting very convoluted. And especially these days with the internet, it's almost too much information out there.
Sure.
It's hard to sort through the information. We see everybody getting confused, not just the end user. Even the physicians get confused, and the aesthetic professionals get confused. You sort of don't know what to believe anymore. And we had a group of people with a strong background in clinical research, in engineering, that we knew that we were able to do the due diligence. And frankly, after about 20 years in the industry, you sort of have this crystallization of knowledge that you get, where you get a sense of what to look for. And obviously, you have a lot of contacts that move around companies. And we really thought there was room for a company to come out and sort through all of that due diligence process and for the end user, because they generally don't have the time or or sometimes even the contacts to do it. And really just, and I know it sounds a little silly to say because all businesses should be like this, but just run a normal business, everyday moral, ethical business where you do your research, bring on quality products that you believe in, care about that end user, explain it all, tell them if you don't have the best product, where to go for them,
Right.
and build up over time. That's where the name came from, Shelliann. It was to basically help people make their salient decisions in a very informed, knowledgeable fashion. A long, hard road when you do it sort of that slow and steady as opposed to the flash in the pan. But
There's
I think long-term
longevity
it's worth it.
in
I
integrity
agree.
in the information you provide.
Right.
Absolutely. And where can people connect with you to get more information about the products?
Well, the best place would be on our website, salientmed.com. And on there, you can find out there's physician finders as to who carries our equipment, and aesthetic clinics as well listed. And you could always phone us up over there, and we'll tell you where to find the local provider.
Excellent. And before we go, just in exchange, something that you shared with me before you came on the show was that I did an interview with one of your clients, and we were looking at the Cool Sculpt, which is one of the...
Yeah, it's not one of our products. However,
Okay.
it is a very popular product and a very good product. Yes. And she has a lovely clinic. And also, she is, there's clients we like to work with. And I like to say that most of our clients, because maybe we attract that, are people who are running real businesses and who really care about their patients. And obviously that makes all of our lives more enjoyable when we're working with those types of clients.
Absolutely. Now, how has your life been transformed?
How's my life been transformed? Well, I think that from somebody who does get bored pretty easily, working in the various multidisciplinary arenas that we've been able to go into, we specialize, sometimes I think we're masochistic, but we specialize in emerging health technologies, which means that it's generally something that is new to the market. And you have to do a lot of research and you have to convince a lot of people. But it's a fascinating realm to be in because nothing is just me too. Everything is new. And you meet wonderful creative people and researchers who are in this arena, and you get to work with people who you are introducing it, who are helping you introduce it into the field and get their feedback. And all those people are of a certain sort of DNA. And so for myself, it's been interesting from that perspective.
Awesome.
And it's sort of allowed me to also support the type of things that we like to support in the companies. And we're sort of big animal lovers. If you've ever seen our staff page of our dogs, so it allows you a little bit more leeway.
Yeah, so it's definitely a dynamic process, and we absolutely support you here on the Nikki Clarke Show. So I just want to thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jay
very
Herman,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.
Look out for him. Salient Inc. Medical. We'll be back.